Texas is one of the most famous names in America. But hardly anyone knows what the name actually means. What if I told you the word Texas comes from an ancient tribal language, and its meaning has nothing to do with cowboys, oil, or the Wild West? It's a story of friendship, misunderstanding, and a legacy that's been hiding in plain sight for centuries. Welcome to Hidden Chapters USA. I'm Tom, and today we're going to reveal the surprising, forgotten meaning of the word Texas and how it shaped the identity of the Lone Star State. This isn't just a history lesson. It is a journey back in time to uncover a piece of America's soul that most people have completely overlooked. So stick around, because you'll never look at Texas the same way again. Long before European ships ever touched American shores, the land we now call Texas was a bustling, vibrant world. This wasn't an empty frontier. It was home to countless native tribes, each with its own rich culture. Among the most prominent were the Caddo people, a sophisticated network of communities known as the Hasinai Confederacy. These weren't just simple hunter-gatherers, though their ancestors had been for millennia. The Caddo were advanced agriculturists, cultivating corn, beans, and squash. They were master potters and skilled traders, with spiritual clans and a complex social structure that had flourished for generations. At this point in history, there was no Texas on any map, but the seed of the name was already there, spoken every single day in the Caddo language, waiting to be discovered and completely misunderstood. So, where did the name actually come from? The story is incredible. It all traces back to a single Caddo word, Taysha. The meaning of Taysha is simple, powerful, and beautiful. It means friend or ally. When the first Spanish explorers arrived in the late 17th century, they encountered the Caddo people. As a gesture of peace and welcome, the Caddo would greet the newcomers by calling out Taysha, Taysha, to show they came in friendship. But the Spanish didn't understand. They couldn't quite catch the word, and in their journals and maps, they wrote it down phonetically as they heard it, Tejas. Over time, as language evolved and English influence grew, that J sound, pronounced like an H in Spanish, transformed. Tejas became Texas. Think about that. One of the most iconic names in the United States was born from a simple, friendly greeting that was completely misinterpreted. This initial misunderstanding snowballed in a way no one could have predicted. The Spanish explorers, like Alonso de Leon, wrote in their official reports that the native tribes called their land the Great Kingdom of the Tejas. They were convinced that Tejas was the name of the region, or perhaps the name of the tribe itself. They never realized it was just the Caddo word for friend, which the tribes used to refer to one another and to welcome outsiders. Based on this false assumption, the Spanish named the entire province Tejas. Missions were established under the name San Francisco de los Tejas. The Spanish crown began referring to the territory as the Kingdom of the Tejas. What began as a friendly hello had officially become the identity of an entire territory on colonial maps. It's a fascinating example of how a small linguistic mistake can literally change the course of history, giving a name to a place that would one day become the legendary Lone Star State. The official motto of Texas is even friendship, a direct nod to this origin story. So, the next time you hear the name Texas, remember it's not just about rugged individualism or sprawling landscapes. At its very core, it's a word that means friend. It's a permanent tribute to the Caddo people and their welcoming spirit. Thanks for watching Hidden Chapters USA. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next journey into America's forgotten history. See you next time. You know the Lone Star on the Texas flag, right? We all see it as a symbol of Texas pride. But what if I told you that wasn't its original meaning? The Lone Star was born from the idea of standing alone, a symbol of independence, unity, and the creation of a single republic. It was the visual representation of a state willing to stand on its own 2 feet, and that spirit of independence ties directly back to that ancient word for friend. It's about being a reliable ally, strong enough to stand alone but choosing to stand with others. This powerful identity was forged in the fires of history. In 1836, the Texas Revolution declared its break from Mexico. By 1839, the Republic of Texas was officially established, a nation in its own right. It wasn't until 1845 that Texas chose to join the United States. Throughout all these seismic shifts from revolution to republic to statehood, one thing remained constant: its name. The name Texas was the thread that held it all together, a constant reminder of unity and the core value of friendship. So, what does Texas mean today? When you hear that word, you probably think of strength, fierce independence, and a deep sense of pride. You think of its rich history, vibrant culture, and the freedom of its wide-open spaces. All of that is true. But woven into the very fabric of its modern identity is that ancient original meaning: friend, ally, partner. The spirit of Tejas is still alive and well. The name of Texas isn't just a label on a map. It's a single word that shaped its entire identity. If you enjoyed this journey into the heart of Texas, subscribe to Hidden Chapters USA for more stories that reveal America's hidden history. Thanks for watching.